Hey, what's up, y'all? This is your boy Gerald, CD Mixes. Hey, I was coming home from work today. By the way, I hope you guys had a great weekend. Anyway, I was coming home from work today, and as I was driving, I decided I said, I wanted to do a new video clip, and I'm pretty new to this, so I appreciate all the feedback. It's going to do is get bigger and better, and it's all about interaction. So if you want to drop me a line, you can hit me at cdmixers at yahoo.com, or actually, I'm going to set up a Facebook as well. All right. I decided, you know, 2012, we're in 2012 now. It's still new. However, I decided I want to make this clip about relationships and breakups. Somebody watching this left 2011 thinking they were in a relationship. 2012, you realize you're by yourself. So I came up with 10 positives from a breakup that you could possibly use. And I hope that it works out for real. Okay, number one. Number one. This will give you an opportunity to heal. Depending on how much investment you had, time, um, the whole gamut of a relationship, you're going to need recovery time for self. Um, Sometimes, depending on the level of the relationship, it can actually drive you to rethink your whole life plan. So, but before you can do that, you gotta heal. I was looking on the news, and just speaking from a male standpoint, they said that a physical equivalent for a man's pain is like being burned with 3 cups of coffee. Now, multiply that times the time invested. That's going to take some while. That's going to take some while. And not to say that women don't feel the same way too. It just so happened they just based that study on men. So number one, you got to give yourself time to heal. It's just a big positive by itself. Um, Number two, um, personal focus. As you are allowing yourself to heal, you're going to have a better insight on you, because a lot of times what happens is uh, people tend to want to run out there and get with someone else. Well, guess what happens? You're setting yourself up to fail, because if you don't give yourself time to heal, everything that went on in that previous relationship, you're going to take that in the new one. And depending on that person, depending on how much time they have invested or want to invest in that, they're going to leave. So you're really doing yourself an injustice. So you need to go back to number one and heal. And that's why they call it emotional baggage, because it's exactly what it is. Number three, financial responsibilities. A lot of times, depending on the investment of the relationship, um, people will share residence together or financial responsibilities. It could be anything from a cell phone to uh, or basically whatever joint you can do. Um, well, guess what? You're not in their circle anymore. So now you can focus on yourself. The benefit of that is you're getting yourself straight, and your pockets will be fat too. Now remember, you're not in their circle, so it's all gain for you. Number four, you will more or less get a fresh look on life because you're by yourself. A lot of times when we invest ourselves in someone else's life, we will tend to put our needs behind. That's just being compassionate. Now that shouldn't be a monopoly, but when you care about someone, you always want to put them first. You know, well, guess what? It's just you. So you get to take care of yourself, and all that's going to do is end up being the greatest positive all around. Okay, number 5, to piggyback off of number 4, you ain't got to answer to nobody. You ain't got to worry about looking at your cell phone, seeing when they call, because they're not. You ain't in their circle. So now this also gives you an opportunity to really live your life. And that's what you're supposed to do. Don't take the time and wonder what they doing. Because all that's going to do is drive you crazy. And, with that being said, you got to love yourself. You got to love yourself. Number 6, this is another big one. Depending on how invested you were in your relationship, by you not being in that relationship, this also gives an opportunity for yourself and the person that broke up with you to deal with underlining issues. You might have been a straight up cat, or a very, very responsible woman, and because there were underlining circumstances that brought the strain. Well, guess what? You're not in their circle no more. So guess what with that? If it was underlining, it's going to come out. No finger pointing. They can't say, well, you did this and did. You're not there. You're basically a memory. So that's a big plus for you. All right. Number 7. This also, to piggyback off of that, if there's any underlying situations, a lot of times it's really easy to point the finger and blame at the other person. Now, depending on how close you were with their family and their friends, it's real easy for them to build a bias. Well, guess what? Once again, you ain't there. So if there was anything underlining, this gives them an opportunity to also say, well, hey, wait a minute. Maybe we were wrong. And all that does is reaffirm the value of you. Number 8, I kind of cheated, but validation. By you not being in that person's life, this is also going to give them an opportunity to validate everything that you both shared and experienced in the relationship. Now, yeah, I know there's that saying, to get over someone, you need to get under someone. But really, all you're doing is cheapening yourself. I mean, if you love yourself, you're going to go back to number 1. Step back. Do you by healing yourself, so you can be the best product, and then keep it stepping if need be. But what I mean by is this will give them an opportunity, because you're not there. If they care about you, all the good experiences that you shared will resonate. Now, the beautiful thing about that is if you have time invested, you can't throw away those memories. So you got a good thing going for you. You do. Now, also with that, I'm kind of losing my thought process, so bear with me. With the validation part, any good memories are going to come to the top, but it also gives the bad memories with time to go away. Also, that'll give you both an opportunity to reassess, and that's with more or less number 9. That's what number 9 is. That gives you an opportunity to look at where you are in your situation, because you're not in that person's circle, no matter how much you love them. That's one thing about love. Love just doesn't up and fall off because they're with someone else, or even if they're by themselves. It just does not work that way. Because if that did happen, well, guess what? They were using you, and they didn't love you. And if they didn't love you, they didn't value you, which brings everything back to validation. So by you stepping away, you are reaffirming your personal value, because you dictate that. Number two, it also reaffirms your self-respect, because if you allow someone to more or less dictate that for you, they're gonna more or less manipulate you. And don't you love yourself more? Really, you deserve better. Um, and a big one, number 10. If it was legit, now follow me now. If it really was meant, they're gonna miss you. It don't matter if you see them out and about with someone else. It don't matter unless they don't turn around and get married on you. And usually 9 times out of 10, if the feelings are really truly there, they're never going to go anywhere. Um, this also gives you an opportunity to make the decision if you want to go back. Follow me now? It gives you that opportunity. Now, if you're turning around and you're doing all these things, these 10 things I just kicked off to you, you're going to come off new. And they're going to like that. But just make sure it's not one-sided. And by all means, let me throw this disclaimer. If there's a reason the relationship ended because of, it got physical, look here. Don't matter how much love there is. Love yourself more and keep it stepping. And if they love you, they also going to do the legwork. That's the one powerful thing about love. No matter how hard you try to stuff it in a box or try to erase it from your mind by distractors of having people, events, situations, when a person loves, it don't go away. So really, they do say second time is the best one. But you got to get through the first 9. And on that note, y'all love yourselves. Keep your spiritual center on point, because your spirituality is going to carry you through. And anything that you're going through, anything, it'll pass. Just remember to love yourself more. Okay, y'all? Thanks for looking at the video. Drop me a comment. Like I said, I'm pretty new at this, but I really want to share, and I got a lot to talk about too. But stay blessed. Peace.